Right, boys, today I'm joined with a YouTuber named Waffles. Thank you for joining me.
No worries. Thank you for having me on this call.
You're welcome. Could you care to give yourself a little introduction for anyone who doesn't know you?
Yes, so I run a relatively small YouTube channel specializing in mostly black pill content, and my beliefs reside in the terms of attracting women, that it's mostly about your looks. And when I'm talking about looks, I have an acronym which I call sub 5. So these are the main things that matter: short, ugly face, bald, fat, inches, which like everyone can guess what that means. I don't want to say the bad words because obviously I think we can both agree about the YouTube algorithm. Um, Vulnerable or old, ethnicity, and my beliefs reside in the respect that if you have too many of those boxes ticked, then that's a wrap pretty much for you. Then no amount of red pill, hard work, gym, or hair, shoes, whatever, isn't going to help you.
Hmm. So my viewers are pretty clued up on the red pill because I've spoke about it a fair amount, especially in our Discord. For the guys who don't know, could you explain what the black pill is?
For the guys who don't know what the black pill is, so the black pill believes in mostly genetic determinism. So your dating success is largely determined by your genetics. And that is encompassed mainly in the things such as your face, your race, and your height. Meanwhile, I'd say that the red pill believes more in behavioral determinism, so they're more focused on like improving on yourself, learning game, going to the gym, self-help, fitness, everything like that.
What's that?
Would I be correct in saying that? Is that where your beliefs mainly reside?
Yeah. So one thing I wanted to jump straight in with was exactly what is the red pill as well, because I've watched one of your videos and you summed it down into one or a couple of words, just saying it's confidence, and I would have to agree with that. I'd have to
That's
disagree with
that's
that.
that's like the mantra that I would attach to red pill to. So like if you look at my YouTube channel, at the very top of it, my channel banner, it has like the three mantras which I'll describe for the blue pill, red pill, and black pill. And for the blue pill, I described it as just be yourself. Like, those kind of things. Just be kind, just be caring, just be a good provider. Like, just care about women and things like that. And then I described the red pills mantra as just be confident. Like, so it's mainly about. So it's not necessarily being caring towards women, but you need to be like it's more of like a game that is to be played in terms of attracting women, and you need to play the game by doing things such as working on yourself. And then the mantra that I provided for the black pill was that you just like need to have good genetics. I said be tall and handsome. So like that was only a mantra, like just to give. So obviously, if somebody's completely new to my channel, they don't know what anything means. Then like that's if I could summarize each pill in like as little space as possible in like less than 5 words, those would be my mantras for it.
Mm. Okay, that makes sense then. But
Hmm.
if, for example, we had more than 5 words, what do you think the red pill is?
So as I've just described a couple of minutes ago, so I said the red pill is mostly about self-improvement, working on yourself, gym, like making sure you've maxed out, like you're focusing on your purpose, like your mission, and that is including in pickup, seduction, learning game, things like that. That's what the red pill stands for, in my view. Would you
And
agree with that? Would you say that they are all things that every man should like aspire to achieve?
I
And
do.
if you don't do those things, then are you saying that that's going to limit your chance of success in terms of like getting a girlfriend or getting laid, whatever you view as success?
Yeah, but I think the it goes further than that with the red pill. There's a reason why this stuff is recommended, and I think that is the real red pill isn't exactly just the surface level of what you should do. It's why this stuff works. And I think that's something that I've
Why this
seen.
stuff works? Go
Yeah,
on, explain yourself a bit.
the red pill gives you a great understanding of male and female nature. And so, although the advice that you see on the surface level is somewhat basic. It's self-improvement, lift, make money, confidence game, learn how to pass shit tests. But that's just the how. And the how is like the basic advice that we can just throw to people so that they can just start taking some action. But the why, I think, is more important than everything else. And I think the why is what exactly women want.
That's what I was about to say. Like, that is the why that I was going to say the red pill is for, is teaching men how to attract and seduce women.
But one level even above that is...
So what's the level above that?
It makes you into the man who they desire, and not on just a level of attraction in terms of this interaction, but it gives you the knowledge of what exactly women have wanted, because our generation of men, I hope you agree, is we've not exactly been told this.
So last question, just before I counter your point. So what do you think it is that women want? What is it that women want under the red pill?
A high value man in all areas. They want a man who can...
Can you become a high value man?
Yes.
How can you become a high value man?
We could break it down into looks, money, status, and game. And I believe you can level up all four of those.
To what degree?
Pretty significantly.
Pretty significantly? Okay. So where did it go wrong for this guy then?
All right, so we got a picture of a pretty muscular guy who's...
Can the audience see that? Will it come up on the video now?
It will, yeah. But it's just for the listeners who are listening on Spotify. He's pretty jacked, V-shape of a body, bald head, kind of like a pretty unattractive face. Probably, if we had to rate him, what would you say? 3 out of 10 face?
3, yeah.
Yeah.
Is he a high value man?
He's not a...
Is he a high value man? No, it's not a like an open-ended answer. It's a yes or no question. Is he a high value man? In the words that you would describe.
High value goes a lot more than just looks.
Right, that's the second time. Yeah. Is his looks high value then? That's a better question.
Honestly, they're not actually that bad.
Not actually that bad. Do you want me to take that picture to the streets and ask 100 women, rate this man out of 10, and they're going to give responses such as not as that bad? They're going to think, oh yeah, he's quite attractive. Is that what you think? Do
the same experiments, but this time take the picture of him before he started the gym, and I bet he's going to get a lot.
No, but it's not going to make any difference. It's not going to make any difference. It won't make any difference because he's still unattractive, irrespective of before he went to the gym or after he went to the gym. This is why I'm bringing up the points about the things that you can change and the things that you can't change, and there's more weight, as unfortunate as it is, in the things that you can't change, such as your height, your face. You can't change your facial bones without surgery. You can't change them, and your race. And you said 5 minutes ago that any man can looks max to a significant degree. They can improve their looks through the things that you already described, such as your gym. But it's not going to make a huge difference if there isn't a good genetic material there to begin with.
It's going to make progress.
Progress, and what's the progress going to achieve? You said that the why. You said that the why was in order to know what women are attracted to. Was that correct?
Mm-hmm.
He's still not attractive to women. Right, I'll put it this way. Let's say that this guy comes to you. He sends you an email, and he says, "Oh, Hamza, I've been really struggling lately. I spent the last 5 years of my life going to the gym. I have a really aesthetic body. For the last 3 years, I've been pounding the streets. I've been heading to bars. I've been heading to clubs, nightclubs. I've been trying in all locations, even in the bus stop and on the street. I've been trying all locations like that, learning game, trying pickup, trying to chat to women, and it never works. I've tried absolutely everything. Why aren't they attracted to me? What can I do to improve? How can I get a girlfriend? Because that is the why that you said about, like, you want to find out what women are attracted to. So what are you going to say to that man? So what are you going to say to that man?
He wants a girlfriend. He doesn't just want one night stands. He wants a girlfriend. He can get one. And what's left now, he's maximized his look as much as possible. Let's say that, okay? So looks are out now. But he's still got a couple of more avenues of areas of improvements. And then
Right.
honestly,
Let's say that he's a millionaire. He's a millionaire. Okay. He's run a successful business. He's got high status. He's got good friends. He's got loads of friends at the gym. They always compliment on him on his physique. He's maxed out all of the things that you've highlighted, and he's been learning game for the last 3 years. He's been trying everything. What are you going to tell him? What are you going to tell him when he sends you that email? Are you going to tell him you got two options pretty much? Either I'm sorry, but there isn't good enough genetic material for you. Like you need to like go to another place where it's a bit easier, such as the solutions that I've outlined in my videos in Southeast Asia, where the men are of lower quality, as you would put it. They're not as high value men. That's the advice that I would give him. Or the other piece of advice you can give him is, just sign up to my self-help coaching programs. Just buy more of my programs, and then I'm sure after a year or two of giving me your money and one-to-one coaching, my Skype calls, then you'll be able to attract women. So what are you going to tell him?
is that what you think I do?
I've seen pickup artists do that. In fact, that's a good question because have you ever heard of the dating coach, YouTube dating coach? He runs a channel similar to yours. He's called Base Zeus. Have you ever heard of him?
Yeah.
You have heard of him.
Mm.
Would you say that your beliefs mostly align with his?
I can't really tell. I've seen his videos pop up, but I don't usually click on them.
Oh, okay. Well, based on like
Is he red pill?
based on the things that you've been talking about, like in terms of learning game, going to the gym, it's the same sort of teachings as that he tells you. And he made a video 4 years ago. It was titled "Do Looks Matter." It was titled "Do Looks Matter," and these are some quotes that I took from this video. He said, "I don't want to take a dating advice from a Calvin Klein model. These guys are the worst because they always say that looks don't matter. That's absolute crap because looks do matter. If this guy," and the guy that he's referring to in this quote is a very attractive, like easily a Chad. He says, if this guy picks up a girl, it's not because he has game. It's because he's 6'3", 5% body fat, and a six pack. And the last quote, "The only people who say looks don't matter have been good looking all of their lives and do not know any better." So that to me, that is very in line what my beliefs reside, that looks are most important. And notice how he specifically said that the man is 6'3". So he's picking out things that are involving your genetics, like your height. And now jump to a video that he made in the last 6 months. And this was titled, I forgot what the exact title was, but it was about LMS theory, and it was basically trying to debunk the black pill. And this is what he teaches now. This is what he tells his audience now. I'm going to tell you the truth about LMS, how to get insane results with women without needing any of that. High quality dating advice or game is effective and works for guys who do not have LMS. Even if, and this is the most important one, even if you're not genetically good looking, you can boost your looks with clothing, hair, beard, etc. So my question to that is, why has he suddenly changed his beliefs? Because the video he made 4 years ago was very much black-pilled. He was pointing out that it's your genetics that is most important, and he was highlighting how very much the importance of looks is to women. And now, in the video that he's made in the last 6 months, he's saying that you don't need good looks. He's saying that it's mostly about having good dating advice and game and fixing your clothes and your hair and your beard, even if you're not genetically good looking. So my question is, why has he suddenly changed his belief system? And my response to that would be, is that he wants money. Simple as that. He wants money. And if you go to the end of his videos, that's when he starts selling the programs. No different from the programs that you're selling, the one-to-one coaching, whatever offers that you have to give to your audience. You give a one-to-one coaching to your fans, don't you? You do. You offer a variety of services to your audience. And my reasoning for why he changed his beliefs in the last 4 years is because he wants money. He just wants to sell a load of crap. He wants to sell these dreams to ignorant men. He doesn't want to tell them the truth, because the truth is that all of the things that I believe in, such as sub 5, short, ugly face, bald, fat, inches, vulnerable or old, ethnicity, these are things that you can't change and you cannot sell them. Apart from fat, obviously. That's the only thing that I believe is you're in your behaviour and you should change. But other than that, everything else is your genetics. And this is like why I would say that you are shipping this idea of self-improvement is because you want money. And that's why you're not willing to tell and that's why you're not trying to tell that man that I raised earlier, the bald guy who had a very aesthetic physique. That's why you're not willing to tell him the truth.
So this is what happens. That bald guy, we'll have a picture up on screen. He comes to either of us for advice. He leaves, he comes to you for advice, and he's more depressed than ever, and he feels hopeless, and there's nothing else. It's just, okay, your genetics are fucked. That's it.
Is there a reason for that? Yeah. Is there a reason for why he's depressed?
That's all you'd help him with, is just say your depression and your struggle is because of your genetics. You can't change it.
Yes. That's not all I said. I did give him valuable advice. I told him that his best chance of getting a girlfriend and attracting women is to move to abroad, such as Southeast Asia, where he will have a much larger success. And I'm not making this up either. Like, there's data to support this that
I agree with
Asian women have significant preferences for white men.
Yeah, I agree with that. But what
would your advice to give to him would be?
I always tackle mental health first. That's what I focus on. So the one-to-one that I sell, it isn't me going on to calls and saying to guys like, "Oh, you're ugly. Well, I'm going to fix that." Although, I've went into this interaction with you talking about that. I have the Red Pill self-improvement channel. If you've looked through the videos, a lot of them are just based on mental health. And it's about the young guys who feel hopeless because they aren't getting success with women, but success with money, with bullying, with a lot of just the problems that young men have.
Right, let me ask you this. Do you honestly believe, be honest here, that if you told this man and you gave him all of this mental health support and you tried to fix his mental health as much as possible and he did it to the fullest of his ability, do you honestly believe that would give him success? Do you think that would help him get a girlfriend? Do you think that he would come back to you and be like, "Oh, yes, Hamza, thanks for giving me your advice in a year's time. Like, I've finally got a girlfriend. All I needed to do was fix my mental health." Do you seriously believe that? That's a realistic possibility.
Yeah.
You do? Absolutely. It's unbelievable. It's not happening.
Why is it?
We've got the data on our side. 95% of Tinder likes go to the top 50% of men.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's well below in that bottom 50%.
When you look at the data like this, and I do agree with the data, by the way, completely agree. But when you look at it in real world examples, you see guys who aren't attractive, as you would say, sub fives, and you see them still getting likes. You see not many.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Not many at all, but they'll get one per day. And that one, she ignores him. The next one tomorrow is a bot. The next one, it's a depressing pursuit being a guy who's in a sub 5. And I've had that too. But when we go through self-improvements and he, for example, takes pictures like this, which is a lot better than what he's used to, he's still not going to be one of the guys getting 10, 15, 20, 30 matches per day. But eventually it goes up. And this is only in online dating as well. I see these type of guys. This isn't what I'm selling. Right? I'm not saying this to make money, but I see these type of guys still get girlfriends. And usually it's the negative, hopeless personality, which I think the black pill puts onto these young men, that is more unattractive in them than it is just their unattractiveness. Because you can be unattractive and still have a girlfriend. You can be unattractive and still get, like, maybe not nice to say, but like an unattractive girlfriend who's on your level. But if you've got an ugly personality and also an ugly face, ugly body, then you're fucked. And I think that's what the black pill puts on. It's like the final, I don't know the phrase, but it's like the final hit
of a man.
Hey?
Nail in the coffin.
Of a man who's already low value, already pretty ugly, and the black pill then drills in an ugly mindset. So now there's no chance. And your advice is pretty good. I completely agree.
Right. Open the next file that I've sent you. Open the next file.
We got personality.
This is a study.
So we got a picture of OK Cupid ratings for looks versus personality. The looks score goes up to 5. The personality score goes up to 5, and we see a positive correlation.
Yes. So this was a study done on OkCupid, the dating app, and they asked the women to rate a man's personality out of 5 and his looks out of 5. And what do you see from the graph?
Positive correlation.
Yeah, there is no difference. There's no difference between your looks or your personality. So you saying that having a bad personality as a unattractive man is causing your downfall is complete rubbish, because clearly the data speaks for itself that being unattractive automatically gives you a bad personality.
And there's reasons for that. It is that positive or negative feedback loop, but it doesn't have to stay that way. I think we both have somewhat of the same idea, which is, okay, we're talking about this specific guy that we've showed who could potentially level up. And your advice is there's no point in doing that. Just go somewhere else, and hopefully you'll get luck there, because the women there have lower standards, and if you've got white skin, you're better off. That's still not bad advice. It's not something that I would personally think of, because it's just, I've never really thought of that in myself. But either way, both of our recommendations to a guy who's not attractive, who's struggling with women, is to do something that makes him higher value. Yours is that he becomes higher value in a different country. Mine is that he just becomes higher value in general. And let's say
the high value is relative. The high value is relative, because even if he becomes higher value in a country like the United Kingdom or any country in the West, he's achieved value in the respect that he's came a long way from where he used to be. However, relative to everybody else in the West, he is still very much in the bottom 5% of value. He's below average height. He's got a very unattractive face. He's bald. He's still very unattractive relative to other people in the West. But relative to where he was maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, before he did all of the efforts to improve his looks, he might have came a long way. Yeah, I agree with that. But still, relative to the people in the West, then it's no comparison. He's still very much in the bottom 5%, and he's not high value. He's low value.
If we look at the same graph, the looks versus personality. So it says the better you look, the better your personality. And
yes,
although I'd say the black pill don't really ever think about personality, I think you must say that, okay, a good personality would at least help. And if, for example, we got this guy and he's fat first, and we turn him from fat to jacked as he is now, his looks have went up. His looks went up, his personalities went up. And not only that, the more important factor is now he feels more positive. He's made awesome progress. Like you said, his friends are hyping him up in the gym. He's made money. He's got confidence. All of that compounds to give him a far higher chance than it did if he just stayed fat. Or let's say you said fat wasn't a good trait. So let's say if he just kind of lost.
I'm not disagreeing with that. If you listen to the 7 points of sub 5 that I mentioned in the beginning, you'll notice that fat was one of them. That is the only thing that I believe is still highly significant. I'll send you the image so the audience will be able to see.
Yeah. Do you not think muscle is?
It doesn't bring huge improvements to your face, so I don't think it's as important, really, to be honest. It doesn't carry that much weight. Body fat percentage carries a lot more weight. So if you're a average man who would otherwise be unattractive, who's overweight, then that is the only point that lowering your body fat percentage would bring a significant degree of help. That is the only time that I believe that behavioural determinism does come largely into play. Because as a man, you can't afford to be overweight. You can't afford to be high body fat percentage. But every single one of the other things, the other 6 things that I mentioned, they're things that you can't change. And these are going to bring significant degrees of rejection towards you. Like, so here's just one example in relation to height. The first one, if you're 5'4", this was a study, 90% of women will reject you alone. They don't even want to know. They do not want to know, irrespective of how good other areas of your life is. irrespective of how other things you are high value in, such as your personality, such as your game, confidence, status, money, whatever. Even your face, even if you have a 9 out of 10 face and you're 5'4", 90% of women will not want to know. I can send you the graph. I'll attach that one too.
Hang on. So the first picture you just sent over is it's a seven characteristics of people who are sub 5, so less than 5 out of 10, and it's short, ugly face, bald, fat, inches, vulnerable meaning old, and ethnicity. And then we got a couple of pictures of like comparisons between a guy who's taller, a guy who's shorter, an ugly face zombie, bald-headed guy, inches as a ruler, fat as a fat cartoon, vulnerable as a picture of like a stick man with a grey hair, and then ethnicity, colourful stick man.
I want to go back to the point that you mentioned about personality. And you said that personality like will lead to a big help and a big improvement. So why do people get friend zoned? What's the reason for that? Why do people get friend zoned? We hear it all the time. Why do people get friend zoned?
Low value. Girls not attracted to him.
Girls not attracted to him. What does attractiveness mean? It's
a mix between multiple stuff. She's one, not physically attracted to him, not sexually attracted to him, and not...
Is somebody with a good personality likely to get friend zoned?
Depends what you mean by good personality.
Good personality. So what would you describe a good personality as in terms to attraction? So what are most women going to be attracted to in terms of personality?
It's like you act as if you're the alpha male. You got abundance, you got pre-selection, you've got outcome independence. You act as if you've already got multiple women, even if you don't. And
even if you don't, no, that's completely wrong, because that's just gonna that just comes off as delusion. If you try to pretend that you've got loads of options but you don't, like, women are going to see right through that. They're not stupid, by the way. Like, if you pretend that you've got loads of options as a man when quite obviously you don't, if you're that man that I showed at the beginning, the ugly man with a really good body but he's short, height, ugly face, if you're that man and you try to be really cocky and you pretend that you've got loads of options, like, women aren't going to believe you for 1 second. They're not going to believe you. It's laughable. It's laughable. Like, this is the example
that I really get to say something like this if you.
This is the example that I brought up in a previous video.
Women. And right, I don't think you're speaking from experience, because
listen to this example, right? So you hear salesmen use this tactic all of the time when they want to try to sell something. So you would hear a car salesman say, like, if you want to go buy a car salesman might say, "Oh yeah, it doesn't matter if you want to buy the car today because I've got loads of people who want to buy it anyway. I've got 5 people queuing up for me." So by that, you're trying to portray that you have abundance. You have the abundance on your side. And if a well-renowned, high-value company does that, then it usually does work. And the person might be inclined to think, oh, well, if 5 other people are going to buy this car, then I better go catch up with it. I better go get it. It looks like a high-value, well-renowned car from a established company, and it might work. But if a company that is unknown, nobody has heard of it, like, it's clearly low value, if they try the exact same tactic, if a stall is trying to ship analog TVs and he's shouting at you, he's saying, yes, buy these analog TVs, like, everyone's wanting to buy them, they're the next best thing, they're the best seller this year, like, what's people's response? What are people going to do when they walk past and they see that man shouting about these high value analog TVs? What are they going to think? They're going to laugh. They're going to laugh. They're going to laugh, aren't they?
Have you ever sold?
You haven't answered like one question that I've asked this whole time. As soon as I ask a question, you change the topic. So what would people's response be to when they see that man trying to ship analog TVs? What would their response be?
The conversion rate goes up.
The conversion rate goes
up.
So you genuinely think that people are going to be queuing up to buy that man's rubbish, low value analog TVs?
But I can tell you've got no experience.
Nobody's going to queue up.
You've got no experience in sales. You probably have very limited experience with women, and so you're talking about.
I have worked in sales, actually.
And you don't know that scarcity will always increase the conversion rate. Always.
Not necessarily, because it comes off delusional.
No, it will literally always increase.
But for high value products, yes, it does. And the exact same thing is seen in dating. If you're a low value man and you're trying to pretend that you're some high value alpha who's clearly not, then it's not going to have any positive impact. People are going to think you're deluded.
Not exactly.
What's the difference between confidence and arrogance? What's the difference between confidence and arrogance? Confidence has the goods to back it up. That's the way that, if I could sum it up in one sentence, I'll say that confidence has the goods to back it up. While arrogance and delusion doesn't have any goods to back it up.
Arrogance is still better than hopelessness.
Arrogance is better than hopelessness.
Yeah.
Guys, you heard this here first. Arrogance is now a positive trait.
It's not a very positive trait, but it's of the negatives. Hopelessness there's probably nothing worse than that, and that's what you're feeding to these guys. Arrogance. You're
implicitly agreeing with me. You're saying that you're implicitly agreeing with me because you're saying that a low value man is never going to have confidence, but he can at least achieve arrogance.
No,
he can at least.
This guy, the picture that you sent of this bald guy,
he's going to get arrogance.
This guy is going to be so much more confident than when he started. And
he's going to be confident, but that's going to be perceived as arrogance or delusion.
Yet. It's not. Are you jacked?
Why?
Yes or no?
I'm about 11% body fat.
But are you muscular? Have you been lifting for at least 2 years?
I weigh 73 kilograms.
But just answer that question. Have you been weightlifting or doing any kind of resistance training for about 2 years? Okay. So you don't exactly know what happens to your mind after this type of pursuit. After you go to the gym, you smash a couple hundred workouts over the years and you see your body physically change in front of you. You start to smile every single time you see yourself because you've delayed gratification. You got up off your ass, you got off the black pill videos, and you go to the gym and you see a difference in your body and you start to actually feel so much more positive because you realize that you can actually make progress in this life. This guy, his face is still pretty ugly, but he is so much more confident and he would be more happy than if he just never started in the first place. If he just said, oh, well, I'm kind of ugly. Let me take Wheat Waffles advice and go to Southeast Asia. Do that, but why not get jacked too? Why not improve your mental health too? Why not make money too? Why not improve your personality to improve your game? Why not hit life from all angles instead of just saying, like, oh, you know what? My genetics are kind of trash and I'll just listen to these videos and talk about sub-5s and normies.
So if you said at the start that the ultimate goal for the red pill was to find out what women are attracted to, yes. Mm-hmm. But you've kind of just accepted that guy's never going to achieve that. He's never going to achieve that. But, oh well, at least the process was good, that he's going to wake up more confident every day. He's going to be more happy about himself. He's going to get appraisal from other men at the gym. Like, that's not following the outcome that you outlined in the beginning.
Do you think it's that difficult to get women?
I think it's very difficult in 2021. It's 100 times more difficult than it was about 50, 60 years ago.
Why do you think it's difficult?
Because your behaviour can only do so much. I think you can agree with this, that unless a man is overweight, he's never going to go from a 3 out of 10 to an 7 or an 8 out of 10 in terms of looks. It's just not going to happen unless he is overweight.
What do you think I was? Have you seen the before and after pictures?
I've seen your before and after pictures of you. Yeah, I've seen them. You was high body fat percentage when you was younger, and you hadn't reached your pubescent peak either at that point.
I was 17. No, almost 8. The picture with the white.
No, but you could see from the images that like your face wasn't fully developed. You didn't have facial hair or anything like that. You clearly hadn't gone through the whole puberty process, and you was high body fat percentage. I've seen your before pictures. You was about a 3 out of 10 in them. You're about a 6 now.
And how do my pictures look?
What do you mean in your before or after ones?
No. Have you seen my Tinder pictures?
No, I haven't seen your Tinder pictures.
So, all right, first of all, you'd agree that dating is largely online. And if it's online, then that means your pictures, although, yeah, obviously she's going to be shocked if she sees you in person and you're fat and stuff, but largely dating is just kind of your Tinder pictures now. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Fantastic. So
over 50% of relationships are formed online nowadays.
Yeah.
In 2021.
So we need to pretty much discuss exactly what just gets the best Tinder pictures, because that's how relationships are these days, whether you want a girlfriend or whether you want to just hook up with girls, because it's pretty much just your Tinder pictures these days. And even if it's in person, let's say it's a party, which, sex does happen in parties, but let's say it's just a party, either way, the pictures that you have on Tinder, on Instagram, it kind of gets spread. Everyone knows what you look like, and that's also how you may sleep with someone in a party. So pretty much your success in pretty much all of the modern dating comes from just how good pictures you can take. Would you agree?
Yes. Well, not how good pictures you take. That's only
How
one piece of the puzzle. Yeah, how good you look in the pictures.
Yeah.
Because you can take a professional shot of that guy I showed at the beginning, and it's not going to make a difference. Like, it's going to bring him up from a 3 to a 3.2. Great. What an achievement.
So I started as a 3.
If you have a selfie from like a really attractive man, an 8 out of 10, then that's going to improve his chances a lot more. He's going to get tons more matches than a professional shot who's great lighting, like perfect angles from a very unattractive man.
You would think right now that any success I've had in the dating world would be because of genetics.
I'd say it's half and half. I've mentioned this in my videos that if you're in that like average sort of range, then hard work can go a long way. It can go a decent length.
But you just said I was a 3 out of 10 when I started.
Clearly, but that's because you was high body fat.
I honestly wasn't even that high body fat. It was shitty genetics. I just had more fat here, but I wasn't actually, like, you can look at the picture, I'm not actually fat at all.
You was over 20% body fat, I'd say, in the before pictures.
Not over. I'd say maybe just about 20, maybe probably a little bit less.
Yeah. And obviously, like, leaning up has led to big improvements. But however, I think it's very naive to say that your behavior can work for everyone, and improvements to your behavior will help every single man. It's not going to. It's only going to help you if you're like at least average. And you are at least average. It's not going to... I'll put it this way. If you was born with the genetics of the man I showed at the beginning, then no amount of hard work or motivation will help you. Like, the inputs don't even remotely line up to the outputs. Like, he's put in thousands of hours in the gym. Thousands. And he's probably put, as I said, like in the story, like he would have put loads of effort into terms of talking to women, learning game, things like that. And he's still not getting any results. And now I'll show you another piece of evidence from a good-looking man who you would say has very bad inputs, that his behavior is awful. So open this up.
Chad.png. So we've got a picture of a Tinder conversation. We've got a guy, I think he's pretending he's Chad, and he's messaging a girl. And he said, "Why do you use so many filters? If you are attractive, then just own it." And she replied, "Because they're so cute and I love them." She also said, "I added something that didn't have a filter on my phone, but I don't know, I look so similar with or without them." The Chad guy said, "Looks like you're wearing a latex mask," with a laughing emoji, "or you got a nice skincare routine." And she replies, "I have perfect skin, haha, I rarely wear makeup. Even my last IG pic doesn't have makeup."
Right, I'll just pause you there. So yeah. Would you describe that as good game? Yes or no? Is that good game?
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
You're saying that's good game. You think that asking a girl, saying that she looks like she's wearing a latex mask, that's good game?
Do you think good game is being nice to a girl?
If a woman came up to you and said, your muscles look like balloons that have been blown up, would you find that comment funny? Would you think that's good game on her part?
Well,
are you hearing this?
In these in-person conversations,
I wish this was a live stream. I wish this was, so we could see the live chat. You're saying that telling a girl that she looks like she's wearing a latex mask, that is good game.
What's good game then? Imagine he was going to have good game. What message is
that?
What's
not
the opening
good
message?
Game. That's the
what is the
opening
opening message of good game? Please tell me.
The opening of message of good game is irrelevant. It doesn't even matter.
Just
because the girl's clearly because you mentioned pre-selection earlier.
You have the right to talk about this stuff, and you have like a good experience of game, and you're not just like bringing up facts and figures and pictures, but you are qualified to talk about this. Please tell me what is good game of the first message.
Right, 1 point at a time. So you mentioned pre-selection earlier.
Just answer the question.
Did you know 1 point at a time? So you mentioned pre-selection earlier. No, so you mentioned pre-selection earlier. Has this man not already been pre-selected? Clearly, and this is shown through the woman's response. And you didn't read out the second half of the text conversation. It said, and the girl replied, she double texted the man and said, "I'm thinking I gave you." Sorry.
Let me just. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm thinking I gave you my number twice and you haven't texted me yet. So this man, who according to you has excellent game, but well, clearly it's not. I think every single person watching could agree that this is awful, terrible game. You don't tell a girl that she looks like she's wearing a latex mask. Come on. That's
I don't
a joke.
think you've got much experience at all, because I think any guy who's got good knowledge of Tinder, like the girl gave him his number. The girl literally gave her number. So whatever his message has worked. Now you're going to say, oh, but he's really attractive. But either way, he got the number. She's still replying. That's pretty good game. And because I think good game for you would be to message the girl and to say, oh, hey, beautiful. What is good game for you?
I would never do that. That's not good game. That's not do blue pill responses.
What is good game?
But in my opinion, the game means nothing. This is my point earlier, that the inputs don't even remotely line up with the outputs. That I've had experiences where I thought, oh yeah, my game, it wasn't very good. I was a bit nervous. I stumbled over my words several times in some points of the conversation. I couldn't make her laugh really. And then moments later, well, not moments later, but the days after, it went well and things did go well for me. And I did get with that girl. But then other times I thought that my game was very good and things have gone very well. I thought that was a near perfect interaction, a near perfect set. And then you don't get any reply afterwards. I'm sure you've experienced the same. Sometimes your very best sets, your best interactions with women don't lead anywhere. Yeah. But the game meant nothing. In your questioning, you're able to see, oh, I had very good game, but you're not getting replies afterwards. So clearly the game wasn't the limiting factor.
No, exactly. Because we could say the same question to a very attractive guy. And okay, well, he messages in a decent way, not bad, not great. But then he, for some reason, doesn't meet with the girl. Eventually, the girl stops replying. Then, for example, if I said, oh, see, that's because attractiveness doesn't matter, you'd be able to spin and say, no, of course not. It just means that she has a God level of abundance. We can't exactly dictate our beliefs on just what a woman on a dating app does, because they just have too many options. And so, good game or no good game, you send some good messages, it's going okay, and then it doesn't go anywhere. It's not so much because it's the game, or it's not even so much because it's the attractiveness. It's because she has 50 other messages. Now, of course, you make her laugh, you make her lust, you attract her with your pictures, your bio, your messages, and she's more likely to remember you. She's more likely to reply. But even then, like you said, you can have a fantastic conversation. She's literally saying she wants to meet you, and it goes nowhere.
Yeah. I'm going to make one more point on this personality and game point about online dating, because you clearly think that it does have an impact.
Yeah.
And this is shocking. And this was posted to Reddit, and it was posted by a woman, and it was titled "The Frustrations of Dating as a 37-year-old Female." Have a listen. It seems like no matter how much dating I do, both online and in real life, it's always the same story. The guys that I am attracted to are not attracted to me back. And the guys that are attracted to me are the guys that I am not attracted to. I get tons of messages online. The quantity is not the problem. The problem is the quality. The other day, I got a really well thought out message from a guy on OkCupid that was tailored to my profile description. I was ecstatic. So clearly she's saying that the personality was there, the game was there, the confidence was there. She was really happy. As she says, she was ecstatic. Now listen to this. But then I looked at his profile pic and saw that it was an Indian guy. When this happened, I just broke down and started crying, because the fact that he made the effort to write such a well thought out message means he thought he had a chance with me. And this made me feel that I am ugly. I don't know what I'm going to do anymore. I tried losing weight. So she's fat as well. She's 37 years old and she's fat. But no matter how much I diet, I just stay fat. I really want to get married and have kids, but that's not happening anymore because I'm just ugly, fat, and now old woman. What do you have to say to that?
Poor guy. Poor girl as well. So do you believe that that guy would have had good game by the way she described him?
Yes. She said herself. She said herself that
There's
he
the
had good
problem,
game.
and there
He
is
had
literally
good
your problem,
personality.
bro.
He had good game.
This is why you
As
need
she
to take
said,
the
she
red
was
pill instead of black
ecstatic.
pill. You listened to what she said instead of what she actually did. That is not good game. That's terrible
Right,
game.
and
When I meet girls from Tinder,
what she did was
hang
she
on. When I
rejected
meet
that
girls from
man.
Tinder, every single time they show me paragraphs on paragraphs on paragraphs. This guy's asked her such a good question, and she's like giggling while she shows me him. And yet she's meeting me, and I send her one or two messages. 1 or 2 word messages. That is good game. This
Yeah,
chat
because as you
culture that
said,
you
that it's
showed,
not about the
that's
game; it's
good.
about being high value. And you said that earlier in the debate anyway.
But high value comes from game as well.
Well, it clearly didn't, because I
But that guy
think you're
didn't
missing the
have
point.
game. That guy
His
literally had
perspective.
terrible game.
Hold on a second. The girl said herself that the man had good game, that he had a good personality.
Why would you listen to her?
But because I would listen to her, because the moment her perspective changed was as soon as she saw his pictures. That was the turning point. That was the turning point as soon as she saw his pictures, and she specifically mentioned his race.
It's hard to argue with
I
you,
am
bro.
100% sure.
Solidified in your view.
I am 100% sure that if it was an attractive man from a racial background that she did have a preference for, then she would have been over the moon. She would have been as ecstatic as she was as when she first saw that message. It was his looks that was the problem.
It's hard to say, man. And I know it's so obvious to say, okay, she said it was looks, and so we're just gonna believe her. But if you believe what women say their preferences are, you're just gonna go crazy because they don't exactly. Maybe
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that, because if you ask a woman what she finds attractive, what's she gonna say? She's gonna say, "Oh yeah, I like kind-hearted men who take care of me, take me on nice dates, like they think of me and they're always there." That's what they're going to say. They're going to give you these blue-pilled responses. At the very most, they might say that they like a confident guy. They might give a little bit of red pill. They're never, ever going to say, "I like men who are tall, who are white, who are attractive in the face." And in fact, the only time that you will see a woman tell those things is on Tinder. So you sometimes see women have 6 feet plus in my bio. That's the only time when they don't feel fear, judgment, or repercussions. But every other single time, if you ask a woman in real life, she's going to give you those blue-pilled answers. She's not going to tell you the truth. She's not going to tell you about sub 5.
So why are you listening to this woman then?
Why am I listening to this woman? Because this was posted to Reddit, which is an anonymous website, so she's not worried about any judgment or repercussions. I think it goes without saying that she would never post a comment like this if she knew that her reputation was at stake. She would never put this on Facebook. She would never, ever say this to somebody in real life. She would only say it somewhere that's anonymous, such as Reddit.
But you think because it's anonymous, it's got to be true. Like she has had the introspectiveness.
I think it's more likely to be true.
Exactly what she truly believes.
I don't think you can argue with this. There's no point to be made. Like, she said herself that the turning point for her was as soon as she saw his face, as soon as she saw his pictures. And this is coming from the mouth of a woman who's 37 years old and she's overweight. Like, people often talk about women being past their prime. She didn't even have a prime. She was overweight. She never even had a prime. She was like a 5 at most, I guarantee you. Like, and like it's laughable. She's 37 years old. She's old. She's overweight. And she's saying that this man who had a good personality is beneath her. That's what she's saying. Like, it's not even on her level. It's not even like an equal to sign. It's a greater than sign. Like, she said herself that he thought he had a chance with me. She thinks that she's miles above this guy's level. She's thinking that she is miles above this guy's level who has a good personality. I don't think there's any argument to be made on this. I really don't.
What do you think a good personality is?
I think... Right, I'm just going to... Before I answer the question, I'm just going to say that a good personality doesn't carry anywhere near as much weight as you think it does. So like 5%, 5 to 20% at most of the interaction of your attraction with women is going to be based on your personality.
Yeah, agreed. And that's a significant amount.
And of that 5 to 20%, then it is going to be the things that you mentioned, such as being confident, and like being alpha and showing abundance, as much as it pains me to say it. But you've got to bear in mind that this is a very limited like number of like amount of weight that this carries. Have you heard of the 80-20 rule?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So in my opinion, the so it basically says that, so for anyone who's watching who doesn't know, the 80-20 rule says that 80% of your results comes from 20% of like the tools that you have or use. And in my opinion, the 80% of your results comes from sub 5. It comes from your height, it comes from your face, it comes from your race, it comes from all of the other things that I mentioned, having a full head of hair, everything like that. And then in the bottom 20% of results is all of the other rubbish that the red pill says about having good game, having confidence, having a good personality, which do add up to a little amount, but it's not going to carry anywhere near as much weight as the big 80%.
I agree that looks is 80%, but I think...
So you're saying that looks is 80%?
Yeah, we both agree on that. Looks like I was saying before...
That's the complete opposite of what you've been saying for the last 50 minutes.
I've been saying that looks is obviously important. Like, bro, I've been leveling up my looks for the last 5-6 years going to the gym. That's not just so I can come and say, oh, looks aren't important.
You're 6'1". You had a good... overall, like a above average genetic material in your face. Like I graded you about a 6. So the potential was there. But if, as I said, like,
and you're going to say, okay, you can't improve your face, but you've seen what my face looked like. And I was, okay, maybe I was still going through puberty near 18 years old, but my face was very different. Going to the gym literally does change your face, even though you don't exactly train your face. The more muscle you have, the better your face just seems to look. Then you also... it's like a very positive feedback loop, and it goes deep that you pack on muscle, you gain confidence, you get more positive, you get more happy, you make friends in the gym, your social life's pop it, your mental health gets better, you get invited to a party here and there, you start doing more social stuff. You're getting from the depths of like black pill, the depths of like internet addiction, just watching YouTubers online discussing this shit. It's actually like being outside in life.
Sorry, I dropped connection for about 30 seconds there. I didn't hear any of that. So
I was saying,
yeah.
What was it? The looks is 80%, and it changes. For example, something like going to the gym changes more than just your body. It does change.
Right. If you was 10 inches shorter, do you think that you would have had the same results? If you was born 5'4", do you think that you would have had the same results?
No, of course not. That's not like a question you can ask.
Do you think that you would have any results?
Yes, absolutely.
If you was bald, do you think you would have the same results?
Bro, do I have much hair right now?
Well, it looks like your head's shaved.
But it'd be the same thing. There'd be a little bit less black colour over here, but it'd be pretty much the same thing.
But you still got a hairline.
But I could literally take that away. Like, this is after a couple of days of going. I usually don't even have a hairline if I fully go over. Looks is important. I completely agree with you, and I think it is far more important.
But what part of looks? What part of looks, though?
The one that I focus on is the looks that you can improve on.
You think it's mainly the looks that you can improve on?
Yeah.
Well, I think the data speaks for itself, if I'm honest.
So your stance is just give up. Give up and that's a
complete straw man. Complete straw man. No, I've made myself very clear.
Expat in Thailand. That's like your. No,
I've made myself very clear, like multiple times in this call, that if you have good potential beneath your fat, like if you have like good potential and a good frame to work on yourself and improve your looks, if you're at least average or like even a little bit below average, then doing all of the looks maxing and behavioral improvements that you mentioned will have an impact. They will take you like a couple of points to a point where women will be attracted to you. But if your genetic material is really low, if you're below average height, significantly below average height, if you're like really unattractive in the face, So you have a really weak chin, a recessed jaw, like negative canthal tilt, and you're bald, if you have a really unattractive face, then I don't think that it's worth putting in a self-improvement, because that's not going to get you the results you want. And you said at the beginning that the why was to find out what women are attracted to. If a man who was very unattractive came up to you and emailed, would you turn him down? Would you tell him to follow my advice? If he was 5'4" and he was ugly face, bald, such as the man I showed at the beginning, would you tell him, oh, no, like women aren't going to be attracted to you? Like, you just don't have the genetics? Or are you going to sell him lies? Are you going to be like, oh, yeah, just join my coaching program. Just send me £50 per week for the next 6 years of your life. Like, keep your hopes up. And then you'll be able to be able to ascend
towards online marketing and sales. And I think you've got the wrong idea.
No, but that's how it works. No, but that's how it. Right. This is my opinion.
I'm taking it personally because you've got like the wrong perception of me, and I want to like clear my ego or something. I do agree with what you're not exactly talking about me. You're talking about dating and seduction coaches, which say to ugly guys that, oh, I'll teach you how to cold approach. I'll teach you game. And that's what they focus on. And their selling point is no matter how bad you look, we'll get you results. That's not like, so I'm getting offended because I don't do that. And you're just saying, okay, answer the question then. So would you tell a really unattractive man, such as the one I provided, that no, you need to follow Wheat Waffles' advice? Like this coaching isn't for you. So you would tell him that, like, I can get you the results you want. You would be able to find his why that you mentioned at the beginning and be able to attract women. I don't take clients who message me saying that they want to get laid because I don't like.
But you said that was the why.
Yeah.
What was the why?
That's not what
it was
I
to
do
attract women.
That's not what I do for a living. You've got like, I have to answer as if I was like pretending to be a dating coach. That's not what I do. Mine is literally self-improvement. It's for guys who are spending too many hours watching YouTube, and we talk about mental health. We talk about like.
So what is the why? Abuse. So what is the why for you then? If it's not how to attract women, then what is the why? Because that was literally for the last hour that we've been talking. That's what you've been like promoting. You said very explicitly at the start that your why was how to attract women. And now you're saying that it's not that.
I did not say that at all.
You can rewatch your recording afterwards. You can see what your why was.
I was talking, bro. You're twisting words, man. I was talking about.
I'm not twisting words.
You asked me what the why was.
Rewatch the recording.
Red pill. I would never once say.
Oh, you're a red pillar.
My total why. Yeah, of course I am. I would never say that.
So you're a red pillar, and you follow the why. You just said that you're a red pillar, so you follow the why, which you mentioned at the beginning of, which is how to attract women.
No.
And now you're saying that, so it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up.
Just clouded the rest of what I said. The red pill is not to just attract women. It's to make yourself into a high value man who has.
So now you're changing the
experiences. That there is not one place that you would see where people are doing self-improvement outwardly saying like, oh yeah, I'm doing all this for girls. The girls that you get, they're like one.
That's what you said at the beginning.
Self-improvements. No, I didn't.
You said that the why at the beginning was how to attract women, and now you're changing it.
The why for what?
You said that the why for the red pill was how to attract women.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
that's.
But so what is it? Is it that, or is it something else?
You can say that you're red pilled or black pilled, but you can also have your own why. You're like throwing it on.
So you can have your own why. Okay, guys.
Everything I'm doing is for women because I've said that I like to go onto red pill, and so everything you're doing is to be hopeless and to be negative because you're black pill. But I've
not said that. Now you're doing a straw man again. I didn't say that. I never said that I was hopelessness.
You jump in with a lot of questions. I said that because I want to see where you're at. So I would like to ask you some questions because, okay, your most recent video, you've said.
I've said 3 times now where my stance is.
You have said you are an average guy. You're a 6.
I said if you're an average guy, then yes, the red pill self-improvement might help. But if you're below average, significantly below average.
Why are you not?
I do self-improvement.
Why aren't you jacked?
I'm low body fat percentage.
Why aren't you jacked? I don't care.
Because I don't think that's going to carry that much weight.
There we go. So this is a guy, boys, who's saying, "Oh, lifting does nothing. Why don't you meditate?"
I don't believe in meditation.
Meditation doesn't. Meditating. Why do you spend 10 hours a day on the internet? Because
I don't. And I never said that I don't get results either.
So you've said
I've had good interactions with women.
Decent genetics should probably still level up, but you're not doing it yourself.
Yes, I do it myself.
You've been consumed by this hopeless negative mindset that is the black pill. And this is, you're trying to promote more young guys to follow this shit of just saying, oh, it's hopeless, we can't do anything. Don't buy that coaching from that guy who might help you with your mental health or anything, because he might try and say that genetics are on as much as they are. You've had decent genetics, that's what you've said, but you're not maximizing the genetics out of laziness, and that's what you're saying.
I'm from the position that I'm at now, I'm still able to attract women.
You will sell eventually, and then you're going to be a sellout. You're going to say the exact same thing. You're going to sell something.
I won't say the exact same thing.
I don't know exactly what you could sell as a black pillar, but you will sell like a plan to be a Thailand expat or something. And
I have sold already. I have sold in my videos already. But it's not been selling these lies, selling these programs that people speak so much about, and like selling these dreams. It's been selling them the truth for people who want to know like where their stance is and what the reality is for their genetic material and what their chances are. And
you think
kid you not
for that?
For the
you actually think like you have?
It's based on my experiences.
You have enough experience to talk about this stuff, because to me. Yes. You sound like a guy who might have slept with like 1 or 2 girls.
I've slept with 3.
There we go. There's your leader. There is your guy, your black pillar, who's telling you advice on how to get girls. And he doesn't even have a sample size himself.
I'm not telling you how to get girls. I'm not telling people that. I'm telling people the truth.
But what is the black pill for?
And they've all been in the last 9 months during lockdown.
Well done, bro. Happy for you. So what is good game? You never answered that question. If you are selling somewhat of relationship advice, even if you're not exactly selling relationship advice, but you are selling something in this niche, so you should have some good experience and some good qualifications. What is good game? What is the first message you'd send on Tinder?
Well, it's usually something tailored towards their profile. So something in their bio, something like that.
How many matches do you get a day?
None.
There you go. And you're above average. No,
but I'm above average in looks. I've spent hundreds of pounds getting professional photographs taken in a variety of environments. I've algorithmically optimized my swiping system. So like in my opinion, you should only swipe on people around your looks level, because if you swipe on people that are way above you, then they're not going to swipe on you. Yeah. And then
okay, so you've done all this. You've done a lot more for your Tinder than I have, and you get pretty much no results. And you have said that
my first relationship was from a girl that I met on Bumble.
Good man. You are definitely more attractive right now, or recently, than my before pictures, right? And potentially we both should have the same level of attractiveness right now, because you said I was a 6 and you said that you're not muscular, but muscle doesn't matter anyway. Why do I get about 20 to 40 matches per day?
I haven't seen your Tinder matches. I haven't seen your photos that you use.
Well, why? What could be the one reason why? Like, my pictures are not professional. I take them with my iPhone 8. The picture that gets me the most likes, I literally took right here in my bedroom. And it gets me like from what you guys would assume, like a Chad level. And I'd speak to these girls like the same Chaddy way that you guys think a Chad is, or a Tyrone, or whatever the fuck you say. Why do I get seemingly infinitely, but let's say 20 to 30, 40 times more results than you, 40 times more results than you, when I should have not been getting this much? I should have just gave up. No, okay, fair enough. My genetics were maybe okay, so I've self-improved and everything. But if we're both about 6 right now, the one difference that we have is my muscle. Why does my muscle get me about 40 times more results than you?
I don't think if I improve my physique that it would lead to a big difference. I seriously don't.
Absolutely would. You could try this right now. You're 11% body fat. You might have like the smallest like hints of muscle. Go take a shirtless picture. Use that as
I'm not skinny by any means either. Like 73 kilos isn't exactly Mo Farah size.
You can go and try this, and you can come back. You can tell the... Huh?
I can send you pictures of myself, of my physique. It's not like... It's well above average. But I've done most of the looks maxing advice that the Red Pill community has done in terms of maximizing their physique.
Are you white skinned?
Yes.
Why do I get more matches than you? Why am I more successful with girls? Like
age,
widely more than you.
How old are you?
Age, because I'm 23, almost 24, but I was 18, 19, still getting 20 matches a day, and I was brown skinned. I had skinny wrists. I had all of the stuff. Why am I more successful if I'm brown skinned and I've got a lot of the characteristics that you've said are death sentences?
No, you haven't got any characteristics that I'll describe as death sentences.
You said ethnicity is one. You said
I think that has an impact. I'll even show you the data on this one. So
it has an impact up until you improve yourself, and at that point, it's just a positive. Like, girls like me because I'm brown skinned now, but they didn't like me a few years ago. Well, probably not because I was brown, but just in general, they didn't like me up until I did self improvements. Now, you've said you haven't had as huge of a self improvement journey as I have, but then what is the difference between
image that I've just attached? I've got no idea. I don't know. What is the difference?
What is it? 48 likes for lighter skin, 19 likes for a little bit of a darker skin. Oh, they've like photoshopped a couple of guys, and they both get like 46 likes, 48 likes, and then they get less likes if they are darker skin. I don't really believe that, to be honest.
You don't believe that?
No.
Well, the data speaks for itself, and I can show you another one as well. And this one's a larger sample size.
Like,
this one's 5,000.
What is this data, though? You're literally like just sending me a picture that some black pillar in his sweaty room has edited. Well,
it shows that ethnicity has an impact. He's getting less than half the number of likes. And this is another one. And this is from 2 male models, an Asian male model and a white male model.
So we got a picture,
and the Asian male model gets over 4 times less matches as the white male model. And I think that we can both agree that the pictures used, like, if you exclude their race, then they are both on the similar looks level.
Mm.
Would you agree with that? They're both like 8 to 9 range, aren't they?
Yeah, probably higher than that, to be honest. If you can't really fault their face, then you may as well say they're close enough to 10, really. So the Asian guy gets, how many is it? 4. Hang on, I'll close it. Let me just say it out for the guys who are listening on Spotify. So out of 5,000 swipes, we've got a male model, white male model, and an Asian as in probably, Chinese? Like that type of Asian, not brown skin Asian. East Asian. 5,000 swipes they've done on probably Tinder. The white model got 342 matches and the Asian model got 77. So the match rate for the white guy was 6.84% and the match rate for the Asian is 1.54. That's strange. Like, even for the white guy, I don't believe it. So 5,000 swipes got him 342 matches, 6.8%. That's not realistic at all.
How is that not realistic?
Because if you view...
the sample size is 5,000. How can you argue that it's not realistic?
Because if you've used Tinder and you've used it or, okay, not you if you've not had great success, but if you've been with someone who gets a decent amount of matches, it's a lot more than 6% for a guy who gets like an okay amount of matches. Now, this guy's far, far more attractive than me, but my match rate would probably be, like, I don't calculate or anything, but it would be way higher than 6.8% and far more than the Asian guy who gets 77 matches out of 5,000. That's pretty much like nothing. That means that when the Asian guy, for example, when he swipes on Tinder, I believe you get either 50 or 100 likes, he would pretty much get 1 match per day, which is bullshit because that's not going to happen. And even the white guy, let's say you get 50, the white male model, this picture is saying that the white male model will get 3 matches per day on Tinder. I can literally show you a picture, like a little video of me making my account and any kind of verification you want of me holding up I don't know, but I can show you that with a lot worse pictures than these guys getting 20 matches straight away. And you could use you could do it yourself. You could make a Tinder picture of a guy who's less attractive than these guys, or even find these models. Like, this type of data is just corrupt. You find this model's Instagram picture, upload him onto Tinder, and see how many matches you get. And it's going to be more than 1%.
Right, so the only reason I would assume that might have been the case is because obviously they've swiped 5,000 times, which is a lot. So algorithmically, that is like the opposite of optimal swiping strategy. So they might have ended up shadow banning themselves like halfway through the swiping process. Because obviously, like, if you swipe too much on these online dating apps, then that punishes your score and you end up lower in the line. So their profile might not have been seen. Like, that's probably the only explanation that I can see for why that is. Yeah. And obviously, like, other times, not every single person who uses Tinder, not every woman who uses Tinder is always going to be checking who swipes on them. So, like, a lot of women might have downloaded Tinder and then not used it for 2-3 months, and this might have been in the time that the male models had swiped on their profiles.
Yeah, well said. So let's take out the figures, and let's just say that
I think but I think you can agree that it's a. I think you can agree that it's a fair test. Like, even still, like, they're both doing the same poor swiping strategy, and there's like the data still is the same, that the white male model has got 4.4 times many matches as the Asian male model. And you also didn't take a look at the bottom line, which said that white men have 11.5 times as many messages as the Asian male model.
That would be very.
I think that's a high conversion rate. Like for message to match, that is a high conversion rate. Like, so you said that you get 30 matches per day, and how many of them actually message you directly?
They message me first.
It's probably less than 6% though, I'd guess.
What do you mean by in terms of messaging? They reply to my message, or they
message first.
Oh, message first. No, less than 6 out of 30. Maybe I'll get one girl who messages me straight away.
Yeah. So that's a high conversion rate from match to message. So the only reason that I can assume is that their match rate was lower than anticipated was because of poor swiping strategy.
Yeah, well said with that. So, I mean, the point of the picture is to show that you maximize attractiveness, but still white guys will get 4 times more matches than Asian guys on Tinder.
Yes. So do you think ethnicity is a factor? Like, that's pretty much the reason I brought up this point. Do you think that women aren't perfect angels and that they are a bit more shallow than you might perceive, and that they do prefer some races over others?
Yeah, 100%. Of course they do.
Yeah.
That's like not exactly been my counterpoint, but because.
So you agree on that then? So you agree with the race pill of the black pill? Do you agree with the black pillars on that?
Nah, not exactly. Because
so you don't. You agree with the data's there. You agree with the data.
No. Let me. You
agree with my summary point.
Genetics plays a role, but I almost disagree with almost everything off the black pill because of the way that they interpret it and they go about it. So I was unofficially black pilled a few years ago, and you saw the pictures, right? My mindset was that girls aren't going to like me because I'm brown. And so I could have gave up. I could have found your channel.
I don't think you can make a blanket statement like that. I don't think you can make a blanket statement like that.
But that is literally
because that's not the conclusion.
The same thing.
I've not seen that.
I see Chinese guys, black guys, brown guys, and I've always just thought I wish I could just make you believe. Go and get the 10 out of 10 body first. Go and level up everything else, and I promise you, your bad skin, like the ethnicity being a problem, it turns into a solution. You literally turn into the niche where white girls are running up to you and they're happy that you're not white. Like, white girls are happy that I'm not white skinned now. Like, it's a good thing that I'm brown skinned. But in my mind, it wasn't a few years ago. And the reason why it wasn't because I was brown skinned that I wasn't getting girls is because I was just not valued in any way whatsoever. A few years of self-improvement brought that up. And now, my brown skin is technically a good thing.
I think the conclusion that you made for the studies that you said that you attribute, like, the black pillars, summarize it by, like, you said that, it's because of my skin, therefore women won't like me. I don't think you can make that conclusion given that data. The only conclusion that you can make is that it will be harder, that it will be slightly tougher, 4 times tougher if you are ethnic compared to if you are white skinned. Like, you can't say that I am ethnic, therefore women won't like me, therefore it's over. You can't make that conclusion, but you can make the conclusion that it's going to be much tougher.
Guys to do. That's what I see on your comments, and I see the black pillars who spill into the red.
That's not me. That's not me. It's that.
But it's the black pill. It's what the guys are all saying. If a black pill guy comes into the red pill, that's what they say. They'll reply to one of the self-improvement posts saying, nope, skinny wrists, black skin, short, fat, whatever genetic thing they want to talk about, that's the issue. And
you're straw manning, like, me as if I'm my followers.
That's what you just call, man. Doesn't feel good though.
No, I haven't. I've pinpointed the words that you've said, like you said about the Y at the beginning, and I've been, like, taking that as your beliefs. Like you had a chance to say like what you believe, and you've said multiple times throughout the call that you believe in behavioral determinism, that doing those sort of things, like such as going to the gym and improving your looks, will make an impact. And I've been trying to like debate that. I haven't been strawmanning you at all.
But you disagree with that. As a general consensus, you disagree that the behavioral stuff would make a positive impact on someone.
I think it will make a positive impact, but I don't think you should let your expectations like go wild, and you shouldn't listen to some of the red pill stuff that you hear out there saying that, oh yeah, if all you need to do is like buy my programs and go to the gym and do all of this stuff, and then that will help you get a girlfriend. That's not going to be the outcome. What's
your solution to the outcome that they want?
I think that you've got to take a realistic approach based on what your genetics is. And if you are, I think it does get, I do believe, do you agree with this as well? I do believe that there are not a lot of people, but some people out there whose genetics are so subpar that it's not worth putting in the amount of effort. For example, like if you're very below average height, if you're 5'3", but do you think that it would get them the results they want?
It wouldn't get them the results that they want, but again, women dating casual sex is a result, not the only result. And to not do self-improvement because, X genetics, and so I may as well not do anything, it keeps you a loser forever. And now, okay, you're not going to be a playboy. Let's say you're 5'3", you've got a fucked up face, you're disabled, whatever. You can still improve and improve your life in all areas. And you are not going to get anywhere near the results as some Chad who messages the girl one word and who's born with good genetics. But why is that your basis of success? Why not just think, okay, I am here. My life would be better if I had X and I have full control of that. Why, instead of thinking, I'm here because I'm so low down, I may as well just give up.
To be honest, I don't think I've really ever told a man in any one of my times that he's asked me for, like, what should I do to improve? I've never told a man that he should just flat out give up. I've always offered realistic approaches and solutions. And if that is things such as going to Southeast Asia, such as beta boxing, using money to try to attract women a bit more, or anything like along those lines, more extreme solutions, or even like as far as surgery. Like if I see a man and he is very unattractive because he went bald, like he's starting to bald, like I'll show you like one more piece of evidence.
So it's interesting what you just said. You said essentially you told them, okay, you're pretty shit right now, you're pretty ugly, but if you skyrocket your wealth, you could try and get some girls. That's red pill. That's not black pill.
Right. Let me sing you this quick. So what would your advice be to this man? So I would give him black pilled advice, style advice. So just
He's wrote, it's a post on some website and it just wrote, balding has totally ruined my dating life. What are your experiences?
So would you give him black pill style advice such as getting a hair transplant? Because if he is able to realise that going bald was the main reason for his lack of dating success, then would you recommend that he should get a hair transplant? Or do you think that he doesn't need to bother with any of that?
To be honest, I don't know about hair transplants. I don't know if that's like something you can even do, if it's safe. But if it is, then yeah, like why not? That's still an improvement in itself. But honestly, his bigger problem isn't going bald. There's bigger problems than just your dating life going to shit because you've got a bad haircut or, you unfortunately genetic.
It leads to negative reinforcement, because if he's went bald and then he starts getting rejected a tiny bit more, then that's also going to make his personality bad. But you got to understand that the personality bit is secondary. If he never went bald, then he would still have the good game and confidence that you like describe as being really important. So the greater problems that you're saying that arise and are causing his rejection, they're only a result of going bald.
Honestly, it's more of a negative and a hopeless mindset. if literally the only thing that's changed is that he's went bald and nothing else, and that has ruined his dating life, that's bullshit. It's not true whatsoever. You don't just suddenly lose this and then no girl suddenly finds you attractive. It's more that he lost this, he's crying about it, he's getting angry, he hates himself, and he's bringing that outwards first. And that's why he's not getting any success, and that's probably why he started skipping the gym. He's
no, but at least
worse in work. His personality's got worse.
There's two things though. That first of all, if he never went bald, then he would have never had that issue, and his so-called game would still be like at a peak level, and he would still have interesting girls. And second of all, if he did get a hair transplant and he did get his hair back, then his confidence would be restored and he would be the exact same level that he was before. He's not going to be hopeless. He's not going to have that negative mindset.
It's hard to say because he's like an imaginary person we don't know about right now, but I would be very, very surprised to see if this was the truth. If this guy was good, he had lots of girls, he's happy, everything, he starts losing his hair, and that hair is the one reason why he's now not getting girls, and that if he got a hair transplant, everything would be back to normal. I have a feeling that this guy would post a follow-up sub-story saying that he got the hair transplant, it's been a couple of months, it's grown out, but he still isn't getting girls. And the reason why is because of things like self-image, because
I don't know. There's no idea to tell. Like, this is only speculation at this point. Like, there's no idea. There's no way to tell like what would happen. But I will say that I have seen some people post that have said that after they got a hair transplant, then their results did go up, that they did get their confidence back, and that they did start getting more results with women after getting a hair transplant. But it's impossible to tell.
Have you read the book Psycho Cybernetics?
No.
So that discusses self-image. It was a plastic surgeon, and it's similar to the hair transplant, but okay, someone's got a messed up nose or a scar. And the book talks about the importance of self-image and what the red pill would say is frame. People were coming in to improve something, and usually straight when the scar's removed. By scar, we can say like anything facially deformed or the bald, right? So they've got the hair back, they've got the scar off their face. Some people straight away back to normal, they're feeling happy and healthy, but some people weren't. And those people, it was still removed, and they started complaining, like, doc, you didn't even fix anything, it's still there, I still look hideous. And for those people, which I believe the black pill would probably be in this group, it was self-image that was the problem. It was more that they thought they were ugly than just that thing, which is their excuse for everything.
Well, I've not read the book, so I would have no idea, be able to tell. But anyway, I think it's been a good chat. It's overrun a little bit, but I think there was some good points raised.
I appreciate you coming on. It's interesting to speak to someone who has lived a very different life and who has a very different mindset. So I appreciate that, and I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, no problem. Any closing points for yourself?
So boys, Wheat Waffle has a very interesting channel, and he talks about red pill, he talks about getting girls, he talks about the importance of looks, and so it will be the top link in the description. You go onto that, you go check his videos out, and you can get in little arguments with his boys in the comments.
Yeah, thanks. I'll pretty much say the same about you. And just in case anyone wasn't sure on like my overall like outlook and what I believe, that I think that if you are average to above average looking, then it is more important to focus on self-improvement, and that is when that can lead to impactful results. But if you are like very below average looking and you do have like some of the issues that I've already outlined, such as sub 5, being short, ugly face, everything like that, then that is when you do need to maybe take a look at my channel and see like more realistic solutions and approaches.
So one last question. What would you say, would you completely tell a guy in that position to just not do self-improvement because it's pointless then?
I would tell him that he needs to improve in the areas that are most holding him back the most. And that's and even if that is a drastic solution, such as getting a hair transplant or anything like that, then, or getting leg lengthening surgery, if you're very below average height, then that could be a realistic solution. However, I wouldn't tell him to just like give up and rot, like, and I would also tell him to look at more drastic solutions, such as maybe moving to Southeast Asia if he would have like more success there. So does that answer your question?
Yeah. It's nice to have you on the podcast.
Okay, no problem.
Take care, boys.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Right, I'll see you later.